just rips and goes.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I told you when you're alone.
Just do it, right?
You just figure it out. I might need your scissor again. Sure. Extra. Need to use it on the floors or whatever. I could always bring you some too. Just let me know. Erase that from that video. And this is for your tibia. And these are the things you really need to offload, because when you're spinning this plaster on, you're going to pull it a little bit tight. They tell you don't pull it tight. Plaster you could pull tight. It doesn't really go tight. It doesn't stretch. Fiberglass you could pull too tight, but not if it's over plaster. If fiberglass is over plaster, stretch it. Because all you're stretching it to is plaster. So that's better than kind of leaving it a mess. So the next step here is to put on your cast. So you're alone. You're in your office. Usually, if you're doing clubfoot or you're doing something, the holder holds and molds, and the roller rolls. You don't have a holder and a roller. You're doing both. So you take a sloppy wet 4-inch. You do your foot and your ankle. That's all you're worried about, because that's where you get your correction from. The rest of the cast is just structure. So you do your foot and your ankle. And then what I do, because I don't have someone to help me and the patients don't know what flex your foot up, it's flexed up for a second, or their toes are flexed up and they're talking on their cell phones and God knows what goes on. I do the foot and the ankle and then I make them stand. I do the rest of the cast while they're standing. Then they could, when it's dry, they could sit down, I could put the plate on or whatever. So I try to spin them in the treatment chair and put it high enough that I'm not killing myself, but high enough so I could, boom, put it down, they jump off, they're standing.
Right.
Take a few steps in place, just stand in your natural basic gait. Alright, so we'll put the fiberglass on first. I'm sorry,
Plaster?
the plaster. A couple things about plaster. There's a way to dip it, get it wet, to maximize its effectiveness. I'm just putting gloves on.
And this is the 2-step process of putting gloves on.
See, our patients can help you. Okay, couple things. Make your lives easier. Make sure you have the end away from the thing. Because the second you dip it and you're flipping it around in your hands to try to find the end, you could just kill someone. Always, it goes upright like this into the water needs to completely cover it. You put it in, let it sit there until all the bubbles stop. It means it's saturated. Then you pick it up, squeeze both ends, and compress like this to keep, you're squeezing out the water, but you're keeping your plaster in here, and then you're ready to roll, okay? I use lukewarm because I try to get it to dry faster because, like, I'm alone. They say to use hot water so you have more time to mold it, but you have to find a happy medium. So this is pretty lukewarm. Oh, look at my demonstration went. I didn't fill it up enough. That's okay. We'll lay it down. My bubbles have stopped. It only takes a couple seconds. Reach in, pick it up, compress and give in middle, and it's ready to use. It's exactly what it should look like, okay? Find the focus of the toes. Start behind it. And explain why I don't cover my toes, because I had a problem. Pull it nice into the arch. Overlap by 50% when you're turning. Feel for any gaps and go over them again and cover them. Now here, I do ask the patient to hold their foot flexed, but they're doing all kinds of crazy things. Their toes are up. They're like doing crazy things that are, very annoying, that you're thinking, well, this will never work. But it's at least a little bit helpful. Hold it, and make sure you get under the metatarsal heads here. So feel with your hand. So that you get it molded here. feel where my wound is under here. So you press into it a little bit. The cast won't touch your wound. I have a foam dressing over your wound, and I want it to press a little bit into the contact piece that I put on. So patient, you should feel it starting to get warm. Okay. I'm kind of at the end of my plaster here. Nice and molded. Okay, I'm going to have you stand up.
Okay. That quick, you just have them stand up on it?
Yep. Once I'm molded in, just stand.
Now, do you want him to stand normally, like one connects the other, or does it matter?
That's good. Any kind of standing, as long as they're not standing like this or like this. Just kind of as long as you can get them to stand. Then we can put the rest of our cast on while it's standing. We're going to start from the top. Don't show this botched water jug.
Show some upper leg there.
Once was embarrassing enough. One of the students, glove up. Glove, glove. Someone, anyone. Leave a little bit on the top to roll over.
You're not really pulling it all apart, right? In the plaster, just like kind of laying.
I just make sure that this roll lays on the leg and roll it off. And that's enough of a pull. You don't need to like stretch it out and pull it on. Make sure you go over this pretty well so something dries into this groove that's in the leg here, so you don't have an extra line. And this is total contact casting by yourself. Because this is how you'll be doing it in an office. Especially if you're the new associate. How does that feel, JC?
Feels good.